In this quick tips video, I have an idea that may make a huge difference when you have to play those dreaded continuous offbeats or upbeats. My name is Josh Gu, and I'm taking my years of experience learning, teaching, and performing, and sharing all of my best clarinet and music tips so you can get more out of your practice, and most importantly, have fun. You can learn more about all of my many resources at quickstartclarinet.com, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell to get notified when I post new videos. To get started, let me be clear about what I mean by offbeats and upbeats. So there's downbeats or on the beat notes, which kind of land on the numbers, and then you have the upbeats or the offbeats, the ands, the e-andas, all the stuff that kind of happens between the beats. And this will often happen in marches or things like that, where you have that continuously playing off the beat. It's eighth rest followed by eighth note, followed by eighth rest, followed by eighth note. All the eighth notes are on the upbeats, all the eighth rests are on the downbeats, and you have that kind of like pa 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 pa, that kind of musical pattern, and it gets really tricky when it goes on and on and on. And if you've ever played these in pieces, you understand how easy it is to start shifting over to the beat. Even harder is doing it just with the metronome on your own. If you want to try that right now, get out your metronome, get it clicking, and then try to do ba 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 ba, and only play on the upbeats or offbeats from the metronome. And I bet you can't do that for very long before you kind of gravitate back towards the beat, because we're hearing the beat and it's so easy to gravitate towards that. Now there's a ton of advice for how to do this better, and I think some of that advice is better than others. One piece of advice that I've heard is you kind of want to feel the downbeat and then play on the upbeat, and that's kind of doing the like pa 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 pa, and kind of do like a grunt on the beat to feel the beat. I think this is probably the worst advice when it comes to playing continuous upbeats, because it's just so exhausting to like pa, pa, to be grunting on every beat, or resetting your embouchure, or things like that. Anything that requires you to kind of react to every single beat, I think will inevitably slow down and you'll end up lining up with the beat. And I also think part of the problem is you're focusing too hard on the beat. So because you're focusing so hard on like pa, then eventually you'll put the pause on the instead of keeping them on the upbeat. So I think that's the worst advice. A piece of advice that I used to always recommend and found to be pretty helpful is to see it as bigger groupings. So instead of every beat, pa, 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 think about maybe two upbeats leading to a downbeat. This works particularly well if you're in 2/4, and you can kind of, instead of pa, 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 feel more pa, 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 pa. That's a lot easier than sort of reacting to every single beat. You can have a little bit bigger groupings, and as you get better at that, you can even do groups of 4s, pa, 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 and that can be really, really helpful too, especially when you have like a whole page of it in your music that you have to go through. It's so much easier to do it in those bigger groupings rather than trying to react to every single beat. However, recently I came across something that I think worked even better as I was playing a piece that had a ton of upbeats, and that's what I wanted to share with you in this video. And I don't think I've had anybody ever suggest doing this to me, so it's kind of a new thing that I stumbled across, and maybe some of you teach it this way too, so feel free to let me know in the comments if this is something that you've done before or you've taught to other people before. But I think the most helpful way to keep track of those upbeats is to actually focus on the melody that's typically happening in another part. It's very rare that the upbeats are the melody, but if you listen to the melody and focus on the melody that's happening, and then just kind of think about playing on the upbeats of the melody, I find that so much easier to keep track of things and not get lost. So don't focus too hard on the downbeats. Don't try to react to every single downbeat. Don't listen to the bass drum that's playing on the beats and then you try to play off of the beats, off of the bass drum and reacting. Instead, listen to the melody that's happening and place your upbeats within that melody. To give you a little example to try this, I put a link in the description below to Aparito Roca, which is one of the notorious pieces, especially for clarinets, where it's like 70% of the piece is just playing those continuous upbeats for the clarinet part. If you've ever played it on clarinet, then you know what I mean. But you could actually do this with any march, because this happens so often in marches as well. But I put a link in the description to Aparito Roca, and I want you to give it a try. Listen to that recording and try to hear or sing or even clap upbeats, and experiment with, okay, I'm going to listen to the bass drum and the percussion that are on the beats and the bass instruments that are on the beats and try to react to that. See how that goes. Try doing the pa, 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 pa. See how that goes for you. Try doing it with bigger groupings. Pa, 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 pa. See how that goes for you. And then last, and I think is going to be the most successful for you, try focusing on the melody and listening to the melody and just placing your upbeats where the upbeats in the melody are. So give that a try. Let me know how that goes for you in the comments down below. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below. And don't forget, if you found this helpful and informational, feel free to share it with other people. Sharing is very helpful for me and helps the channel grow, and it is great. You can also go to quickstartclarinet.com/get-started, where you can join my free members area and get a nice, neatly organized little platform where all of my favorite handouts and things like that are available to help propel you forward on your clarinet and music journey. So let me know if thinking that way is helpful for you in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. And last but not least, a huge heartfelt thank you to the Dennersons. This is like the Quick Start Clarinet family who supports the channel and helps to make everything that I do possible. If you would like to support the channel and get some awesome rewards in return where we can work one-on-one over video and you can have my full support moving forward on your clarinet journey, then go to quickstartclarinet.com/supporter.